Heyo, and what is up, gang? Thank you for checking out Sledgehammer TV. Today, we are just 2 days away from the most useless and unnecessary, not needed pay-per-view of the whole entire year, and that's WWE Fastlane, and we are going to talk about it right here and right now. My name is Nick Nightmare, and you are watching the Fastlane preview and prediction show for 2019 right here on the Sledgehammer Wrestling Show. Let's do it.
Sledgehammer Wrestling Show.
Alright, wrestling fans, thank you so much for joining me. Fastlane is this Sunday, and it is the biggest speed bump on the road to WrestleMania that there has ever been. There is not one match on this card that needs to happen. It is completely and totally unnecessary. We can do without each and every one of these matches. It is just a waste of everybody's time. It is a reason to put everybody in the ring for what real reason, I don't know, and everybody is running the risk of being injured or doing something that can jeopardize their spots at WrestleMania. And I don't really agree with it. I don't see why we have to have anything after the Elimination Chamber. The entire WrestleMania match card should be set at that point. You should have all your challengers to all your major titles, and then you have 6 weeks to develop and build a story. But the WWE sucks at doing that. They made that evident with what they have been doing with Becky Lynch. One of the best things they could have done was suspend Becky Lynch and keep her off television, but that is not what they did. That is not what they did. They did not use that angle or use the time that they had properly, and now they are just shoving Becky and Charlotte and Ronda down your throat on a weekly basis to the point where when we get to WrestleMania, I don't know if any of us are even going to care. WrestleMania is right around the corner, and you want to waste Kevin Owens' return on a random SmackDown a couple of weeks leading into Fastlane and find yourself giving him a World Championship opportunity. This is something that should have been held off until the Raw after WrestleMania. Why is everybody coming back? Why is everybody being called up before WrestleMania? It's ass backwards. It's not what the WWE usually does, and it's taken away from the excitement and anything that is making WrestleMania worthy of your attention. Because right now we got to focus on all this shit, and we still can't really figure out what most of the WrestleMania card is going to be until we get this ridiculous show over with. Thankfully, as of this recording, there is not that many matches. At my count, there is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 matches on the main show, 1 match on the pre-show. And the match on the pre-show is a match that should not be on a pre-show on any pay-per-view throughout the entire calendar year. This is a main card matchup. This could be a main event matchup, but they want to put Rey Mysterio and Andrade in a kickoff match. Just a one-on-one kickoff match. No ramifications, nothing at stake, just another installment in this fantastic rivalry that has been going on between Rey Mysterio and Andrade Cien Almas, and it deserves to be featured on the actual show because who watches the kickoff show? And don't you think these guys deserve the respect? It's Rey Mysterio. This guy is a legend. You're having him perform on a kickoff show against one of the greatest opponents we've seen him come up against in the most recent years that we've seen Rey Mysterio. What a way to waste everything. Instead of starting the show with this matchup to kick it off and get everybody hyped up, you put it on a pre-show that nobody's really going to see. I would rather have this match on the main card than The Shield versus Baron Corbin, Drew McIntyre, and Bobby Lashley. Hell, I would rather have a United States Championship match. I don't know why on SmackDown Live we had to have Samoa Joe win the United States Championship when they could have done the exact same thing at Fastlane to a bigger effect and with much more respect to Samoa Joe. Would have made it seem bigger, would have given him some sort of a momentum-gaining moment on the road to WrestleMania that's even bigger than just happening on SmackDown Live. And I don't understand why that happened there on Tuesday night and not here. Or even better, not at WrestleMania itself. Why not leave the title on R-Truth, have him take on all these people leading into WrestleMania, and then have the Fatal 4-Way at WrestleMania. And give Samoa Joe a WrestleMania moment. and have him win his first WWE-related championship belt at WrestleMania. I think that would have been much bigger, much more well-received. And as happy as I am to see Samoa Joe as a champion finally, I don't know if I would have done it exactly that way, especially with Mania right around the corner. At the very least, you could have did it at Fastlane, right? But instead, we get The Shield versus Baron Corbin, Drew McIntyre, and Bobby Lashley, a match that nobody wants to see. You wasted any momentum that you had with Roman Reigns' return from his battle against leukemia by immediately going to The Shield. And I don't care how this even turns out. I don't care who turns on who and what does what to this one or that one. If it's Dean, if it's Roman, if it's Seth, I don't care. What's going to cause The Shield to somehow lose this matchup and set up a match for Roman at WrestleMania against Dean, possibly? Or are we going to have Roman and Dean have another six-man tag, but bring in a mystery partner of some sort since Seth Rollins is in the main event? I don't know. I do not have faith in the WWE to make this interesting. I do not care one bit about the reunion of The Shield. I would have much rather seen Roman go on his own path. Let Seth Rollins remain only focused on the United States Championship, on the Universal Championship, and not give a shit about what his running buddies are doing, and let Dean Ambrose have his meltdown and leave the company after WrestleMania, which I definitely do not believe as fact at this point. It has been the most publicized thing. The WWE does not do these things when people are leaving. They don't glorify them. Even though he might be losing in the ring, they are still talking about him positively. They are wishing him well before he's even gone on national airwaves, and there's something just doesn't smell right about the whole thing. And the whole match with this, do you care who wins this matchup? I don't. I don't at all. So you're not even getting a prediction here, because if Baron Dickhead and the rest of his crew win, the trio of trash, then we lose. And if the Shield wins, then who cares? I mean, we kind of expect that to happen. It's going to be Roman's first match back. Do you really think he's going to lose unless there's some sort of a weird swerve before WrestleMania? I certainly don't think so, and I certainly don't care. Just like I don't care about the SmackDown Tag Team Championship matchup, which is going to feature the Usos, one of the best tag teams the WWE has ever seen, one of the best tag team championship duos we have had in the current roster over the last 10 years at least, going up against this makeshift I Love My Daddy duo, the McNugget twins, The Miz and Shane McMahon. I could care less, man. And if this does not end with the Usos still with the championships, then I will be very, very upset. I don't care if The Miz, as we just said with the Shield, they do the same thing. I don't care. If The Miz turns on Shane because his dad's there, maybe The Miz's dad's going to punch Shane McMahon in the face, and it's going to cost them this matchup, and we're going to lead to The Miz versus Shane at WrestleMania over whose daddy's issues were bigger or whatever reason. I don't give a fuck. I don't. And I don't want to see it. And I don't care. And this is just a waste of everybody's time. It's an unnecessary match from an unnecessary storyline that none of us have wanted to see since day one. So I just want it over with, and hopefully the Usos win. And that's my prediction on that one. You want to talk about more useless tag team matchups? They are immediately having a women's tag team championship defense for Sasha Banks and Bayley, and they're going up against the Samoan Slaughterhouse. I don't care about this match either. I don't want Nia Jax and Tamina to win the championships, especially prior to WrestleMania. Why aren't you letting Sasha Banks and Bayley have some sort of a program and build some sort of a story so that by the time they have some sort of a title match at WrestleMania, we would care a little bit more than just because, yay, it's women's tag team wrestling and they're defending the titles, yay! That's what this match is. And you put them up against the big, beefy Samoan Slaughterhouse duo of Tamina and Nia Jax, and that just makes me not want to watch the match at all. I fully expect Bayley and Sasha Banks to remain your champions by the time this match is over, and if they are not, it is a goddamn criminal injustice, and I don't care if they're going to win it back at WrestleMania. I don't want flip-flopping titles. It's not going to bring prestige to the women's tag team division or the belts, and it needs to stay on the Boston... Sorry, guys. Not gonna happen. Needs to stay on the Boss and Hug connection. Excuse me. Gotta shove that vomit back down my throat because I just can't say that name. More useless women's action is being featured on this card as Asuka is finally going to come out of hiding And the only reason they want to give her to us is to give her a match with Mandy Rose. Now, that being said, if Mandy Rose wins the championship, I'm just going to consider the SmackDown Live championship completely dead. And I'm going to consider Asuka completely dead as well. What would be the point in taking the belt from Asuka before WrestleMania? Why would you even take it from her at WrestleMania? She doesn't have any viable competition. I expected Charlotte to step up and challenge for this belt while Becky challenged for the Raw belt on the other side, but that's not what's happening here. And instead of trying to have some sort of a match with the females to determine who's going to get the shot at WrestleMania, we're just going to have a match for Mandy Rose just out of nowhere for Asuka. I don't like it. And if the title change occurs here, I'm going to like it even less than I like it right now. And I know you guys are going to agree with me. I don't care how hot Mandy Rose is. I don't care how good looking she is. I don't care about her big boobles. I don't care about her big butt. I don't care about none of that. She is not ready for a women's championship run. Nowhere near ready. And her bypassing some of the other talent on this roster is just ridiculous. I would much rather see Nikki Cross versus Asuka if you're going to do something random. At least it'll be entertaining. Or a Naomi versus Asuka. Give Naomi another shot back at the championship. Why Mandy Rose? Why? While she's in the middle of a feud with Naomi. Just completely offshoot her and give her a one-off against Asuka. Makes no sense. And I don't like it. Just like I don't like Charlotte Flair versus Becky Lynch. Charlotte Flair versus Becky Lynch. If Becky wins, she gets added to the Raw Women's Championship match at WrestleMania. What do you think is going to happen? This is the most unnecessary match on the card, the most predictable match on the card, and the one match on the whole card that runs the risk of ruining the main event of WrestleMania. Why would you do that? Why is this necessary? They don't need a warm-up match. This match isn't putting butts in seats. This doesn't matter right now. All that matters is WrestleMania. This is unnecessary, this is overkill, and this is them doing a poor job at building the main event at WrestleMania. Even if Ronda Rousey comes out and levels the two of them and we have no winner, it's just unnecessary. Some of this stuff could be done on the Monday Night Raws leading up to WrestleMania, and then, hey, maybe people will fucking watch Raw again. Imagine that if you made Raw interesting and entertaining. Then we are going to talk about the Raw Tag Team Championship matchup that we are going to get here. We are going to see the Revival versus Aleister Black and Ricochet versus the Glorious Gables, Chad Gable and Bobby Roode in a triple threat match. This has been being set up over the last couple of weeks, and I'm thinking that the Revival is going to remain champions. They are going to pin the Glorious Gables. That is their purpose in this match, is to lose. If not, maybe to regain their tag team championships. I don't see them giving these things to Aleister Black and Ricochet just yet. If they were smart, they would hold off and use this as a platform to launch this matchup at WrestleMania. Maybe you have a ladder match for the tag team titles and you have a bunch of tag teams in there, and there Aleister Black and Ricochet can have a WrestleMania moment, make a big impact. See, this is why this Fastlane show, it just is not needed, because you are taking possible moments away from WrestleMania. You're having all these championship matchups just 4 weeks away from the biggest show of the year, and that makes sense to you guys? Because it does not make sense to me. And then we have the WWE Championship matchup for Daniel Bryan versus Kevin Owens. This was supposed to be Daniel Bryan versus Kofi Kingston, but I am glad that it got switched around, because this increases the probability of Kofi Kingston actually walking away the champion at WrestleMania. It would be a feel-good moment. He's got that Becky Lynch kind of fan-favorite momentum, because he's not the company guy. He's been a loyal guy for over a decade, and I think the fans want a feel-good moment, and they want to be with Kofi Mania, and it's going to be even bigger if it happened at WrestleMania, so I am not displeased that they made the change in plans, but I just see this as very rushed, very last minute, and Kevin Owens in this immediate instance just kind of doesn't make sense. He's coming back as a good guy. I don't know, it didn't feel right to me. I thought he was going to somehow screw Kofi Kingston at the end of SmackDown Live last week. That did not happen, but as we stand, it's Daniel Bryan versus Kevin Owens for the WWE Championship, and this is going to be a fantastic matchup. Outside of Rey Mysterio and Andrade Cien Almas, this is going to be the best match up of the whole entire night. Kevin Owens is going to be back with a vengeance. He's going to have something to prove. And Daniel Bryan is going to bring his A game. Rowan will probably be out there with him at ringside, so it'll be interesting to see if he plays a part in anything. Maybe we'll see the return of Sami Zayn to come aid his friend while he's still walking this babyface line and even the score against Rowan. There'll be a lot of ginger action on the outside, and I would be all for it. Everybody knows Daniel Bryan's walking out the WWE champion still. No chance of there being a title change, in my opinion, with this one. And that, my friends, is your predictions and preview for Fastlane. This is not really worth much more time than I'm giving it right now. I wish we didn't have to watch it. I wish none of us had to be put through it. But this is what's happening. And we have to sit through it as we get ready for WrestleMania, which is just 4 weeks away. And hopefully the WWE does not sit back and coast after this and actually start to amp up their TV and try to get us excited for a WrestleMania for once. WrestleMania 35 coming to us from my hometown of New York City, or New Jersey, technically, if you want to be technical about it. The Meadowlands is in Jersey, we all know that. But I'm going to be here, and we are going to have all the coverage that you need leading up into and throughout WrestleMania week. We are going to start things off sometime this week, as we have not mentioned it. We haven't really talked about it. We started off with the little bump at the beginning, and we lost King Kong Bundy this week, and it was a tremendous loss for me. This guy was one of my favorite villains of all time, and I have a whole tribute and memorial video in production right now, and it will be dropping on the channel this weekend, so keep your eyes open for the King Kong Bundy memorial video. I cannot tell you how sad this one made me. Bundy was the man. He was one of the giants in the land of giants that you could actually believe was as terrifying as he looked. And then he was a beautiful man on the outside of professional wrestling, and he actually made the transition into television and Hollywood even better than guys like Hulk Hogan at the time. One of the first guys to really have crossover appeal because of his charisma and his devastation in the ring. That avalanche he used to deliver, sometimes multiple times to his opponent, and always notoriously asking the ref to deliver that 5 count. King Kong Bundy will never be forgotten, at least by this guy, and I'm sure not by many of you. So keep your eyes open for that. And as always, this episode of the Sledgehammer Wrestling Show is brought to you guys by Audible. Audible has over 180,000 books that you could choose from to infect your ear holes so you don't use your eyeballs or dirty your fingers, and you could enjoy some of your best books just by ingesting it straight into your brain, and it is fantastic. I loved my Audible books, and I know a lot of people that enjoy the services of Audible, and I am here to offer you guys a 30-day free trial and a free audiobook of your choosing. Pick a wrestling title, pick a sci-fi title. If you want to learn some new Spanish, or some new language rather, like Spanish or French, or there's all kinds of stuff on this thing to enhance your intelligence, give you more confidence, self-help books, or if you just want to be the wrestling nerd that I know that you all are, you could delve into books like JR's My Life in Wrestling, the biography of Dusty Rhodes, The Death of WCW, and many, many more. Go to audibletrial.com/sledgehammertv right now and redeem that free audiobook with your 30-day trial. Cancel the trial before the 30 days is up, and you can still keep that free book. And if you've already used this service and claimed a free trial through somebody else, feel free to extend this invitation to your friends and family. Offer them this link, audibletrial.com/sledgehammertv right now, and get a free book, 30-day free trial, and it's on the house. And then encourage them to come on over here and subscribe. Don't forget to do that if you are not one of the over 1,000 plus sledgeheads that are infecting the YouTube wrestling community. You need to join us right now. I have some of the most knowledgeable and fun and most forgiving and loving wrestling fans that you could find anywhere on the planet. I love each and every one of you. Thank you guys for dealing with my SmackDown Live troubles this week, as we are trying to get the upgrade going so we can stop futzing around and really kick this thing into high gear so we can take over YouTube as we intend to, one video at a time. So don't forget to subscribe right now and hit that notification bell so you don't miss anything going on this weekend for Fastlane, including that King Kong Bundy tribute, the Fastlane review and reaction show coming at you guys Sunday night, and then all of the fallout that the WWE throws at us this week as we are on the road to WrestleMania. Make this your official home for all news, rumors, highlights, whatever you want to call it, as it pertains to the WWE, because this is where it's at. And when you want your WWE stuff bullshit free and full of fun and happy times and hammer swinging, this is the place to be. Thank you guys so much. Don't forget to hit that like button if you enjoyed today's preview and prediction show, and also don't forget to share this video with each and every one of your wrestling buddies all over the wrestling world, especially if they are going to sit through the most useless and unnecessary pay-per-view of the year, WWE Fastlane. Thank you guys. My name is Nick Nightmare. This is the team, Thor the Sledgehammer, the official Sledgehammer of the Sledgehammer Wrestling Show, and his tag team partner, the World Heavyweight Champion of all the microphones in all the world, Mr. Blue the Snowball. And the most important member of the team, as always, is each and every one of you. I look forward to seeing you guys down in the comment section below. If you missed anything, everything will be linked in the annotations up above, and don't forget to be here all weekend long for the best coverage of Fastlane you will find anywhere on the internet. That, my friends, is going to do it, and we are out of here, and we will see you this Sunday right here on your new favorite wrestling show, the Sledgehammer Wrestling Show, only on Sledgehammer TV, right here on YouTube.com. Boom.